We're going to be playing one of the most tedious games in sports history. NFL head coach 09, as you see here, Coach Ty David, after turning around the Army program, and for your viewership purposes, the Baylor program, he gets a chance to be the coach of the Washington Redskins. He's going to be a guru, humble, conservative, doesn't say much, but when he does, he commands your attention. And the reason why I say for your viewership purposes, because in real life, he can't coach a season in college at the same time he coaches a season in the NFL. So just for the purpose of the series itself, that's what it's going to be. So you see here, he's going to be a running back / receiver whisperer in terms of the two positions that he has the most knowledge of. And I mean, it's obvious. He played running back, receiver, and his better players so far have been, well, his son was a quarterback, but his other son was a running back. So his positions of expertise is going to obviously be running back. And then we saw now with Willie Hawkins, receiver. So we're not going to see any crossover like his son from the Cleveland Browns playing for him or anything like that with the Ravens playing for him. We're just going to see him coaching and kind of just tunnel vision away from everything else that's going on. It's literally just for fun, a what if scenario. And it really would be what if after 1 year at Army, in all reality, right? He got this job. And if he did, I mean, it's going to be a okay job going with the spread option, which is what we've done. The 4-2-5, all the same things. We're going to start in the off season. That way we can more control who's on our team. We don't want to just go into this training camp period and just play. We want to be able to, like in reality, get hired early enough to dictate who we draft and who's around us better. So what I was going to say, it's not going to be the hardest situation. We're only going to do this 1 year because this team made the playoffs this previous year with a 9-7 record. They didn't do much in the playoffs, but they made it. So he doesn't have a brand new horrible team that knows nothing. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to do everything as fast as possible. Like I said, this game is very tedious. Like I've seen other YouTubers sit there for 2.5 hours trying to stream one little part. And I don't know if it was one whole season. I really didn't pay attention. But I'm going to simulate. And we're going to get to this draft preview because that's the biggest thing. Matt Ryan, Ray Rice, Jonathan Stewart, Malcolm Kelly, Jermichael Finley. I think that's his name. But yeah, these are the players in this draft, and it's all realistic. And we're going to draft with revisionist history. We know who was good in this draft, and that's what we're going to go after. We're not going to go after who they say we should, and I mean, if it aligns, we will, but we're not going to be at the mercy of that. We're going to go after who we know is going to be solid. So you see all the important dates here, stuff we have to go through before we even get to the goddamn Super Bowl. You see, that's why this is so tedious. And as you look on the right side of it, everything is counted down. And for me personally, that's one of the problems, is you have to go based on that. You can sim, but I mean, you see here, these are the top players in the draft. Obviously, from the 2008 NFL draft. I mean, Darren McFadden's in there. And the other guys, I mean, Matt Ryan was good. Chris Long. But, I mean, it is what it is. And then here, you have an ability to franchise tag a player. I don't want to, because if I give him that $8.35 million, I'm not going to have no money. He's the best player there. And if you really look at it, the guys that I don't end up franchising for literally the most money at their position, I got to go find someone now. That's literally how it works. Automatically, I have to go find a replacement for all those players because they made up an important part of our roster because we're just letting them walk. So now, I don't know. I think this is right after the All-Star games. And this is what they're looking like after like the Senior Bowl and the Shrine Bowl. And so I'm looking at running backs, and I'm kind of just looking at names also just to refresh who's in this draft class. The receivers are horrible. Jerome Simpson is the only one besides like obviously Deshaun Jackson that has done anything in the league when you look at those guys that were there. And then now as we fast forward, you're going to start seeing the results from the combine. Because, man, everything happens quick with the NFL. Because free agency starts, like, say the Super Bowl is, I don't know, like now, the second week of February. Well, the whole draft stuff starts around that same time in terms of the games. And then the combine's right after. And then free agency, as you can see here, is right after. So everything just starts to be like a snowball effect. So yeah, there goes the combine results. And obviously, I haven't really scouted anybody too heavy. I've been clicking and simulating and whatever the case is because I know who I want. So it doesn't matter to me as much. These are all the top players though. I mean, there's that. And as we go through, my staff was given to me, so all those dudes that's there is just there, to be honest. I really don't have no control over them. But now here comes free agency. And with free agency, there's obviously players that I can go after. Like you see here, they're showing my player, and then Culpepper is like the next best free agent at the position. But obviously, I'm keeping Jason Campbell. He's very young. And then here at running back, my Clinton Portis is better than any free agent. And I don't really have a fullback. And then that receiver, my Moss is better than the rest. So yeah, no one I really need from the normal offensive positions. We're stacked in that sense. Chris Cooley coming off of the Pro Bowl. But as you see here, I need a right end, left guard, punter, left end, strong safety, and then a second corner. So with that being said, those are going to be my positions that I'm really going to look for in this free agency. So salary cap status, I don't have that much money. They say I have $14 million to spend. That's not nothing. Because remember, whatever it is to get a player is what I'm going to have to pay. So, like, if it takes $3 million for a 1-year deal, I got to pay that money. And hopefully there's no crazy signing bonus. But, yeah. So, that's not that much money. The first guys are on the list now. And I'm going to try and look at the mock draft, which, I mean, means nothing. That's who everyone thinks is going to be picked. Stuff is going to change. That's why I think it's cool to do it this way than to just go in with whatever they gave you and whatever actually happened in real life. I think it's more fun this way. And so these are all the guys and where they're supposed to go in the first 2 rounds. That's usually how they do it even in present day. I mean, they got lazy now. They'll just give you the first 30. They won't give you the full 2. And I think it's, 32 teams anyways. What am I saying? So they'll give you the first round. So Ruben Brown's the first guy that we're going to go after. He's a left guard. He's 35 years old, and he's an 85 overall. And we clearly need him. So of our first money that we're going to spend, we have $14 million. What the heck was that? We got $14 million to spend, and we're going to spend 4.4 on him. I mean, and we needed him, so it's not one of those things where I'm kind of battling with it or whatever it is. We actually needed him at left guard. We all know games are won in the trenches. So now this is where I decide, well, yeah, we'll give you $1.5 million signing bonus and then pay you that $4 million we signed you to. So that's our first player that we get. And then now our second player is going to be Donovan Darius. He's 32. He's an 84. And again, you look at our roster, we don't have anyone. So we're in a bidding war. These guys are obviously over 30, a little bit past their prime, but we need people that we know is going to come in and make plays and be good for us. We don't really have time to mess around with the draft and hope. This is a 1-year situation. So we're going to pay $5.2 million for him. I mean, I don't know. The going rate, I guess, for someone that's an 84, 85 is over $4 million. So, I mean, it is what it is. So 1 year, 5.2, 1.5 signing bonus. Our next player is going to be Matt Turk. He's a punter. He's well over 30. He's 39. He's an 85. And right here, he's cheap. I mean, punters have always been. And all we got to do is give him $1 million. And then we got to go and I guess because it's in the way, we got to send someone to scout some guys at a pro day. But here, we got to get his contract settled. And I'm not going to rob him. I could have gave him no money, signing bonus, but we're going to give him 1 year and then we give him $500,000. And then now we're at the point where, again, we just finished all of the pro days. And obviously I've been sending people to go see players. I'm just simulating so you can't really tell. And we're going to work out Chris Johnson. Like I said, revisionist history. We know who are the good players in this draft. We can't be fooled and just waste our picks. But yeah, we're going to just let Adam Schefter talk. And hopefully we'll be able to simulate ahead and get to where we need to get to. So Jerry Porter, we're good on that. And then individual workout number 2. We're going to go look at someone who can help us defensive end because that's the position that we need most. It would be a great draft if we could get Harvey, but who knows? So here are our season goals. I mean, I'm not really worried about it because, I mean, we're only trying to do this for a year. So if we fail these goals, we fail them. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. So now when we look at the draft, they're showing a little bit different of, well, these guys have more potential than our 25-year-old quarterback. And I really don't care what they're talking about because I'm not going to be able to get any of those guys. And then here at running back, I mean, they're showing that 3 of the draftable players are better than him. And then there's like 2 that are on the same level. And that's really just, I'm going through it to see, like, there's no receiver in this draft worth drafting. Unless they're going to be a number 2 or a number 3. And then, obviously, tight end, I have a Pro Bowl tight end. So as you just go through it, it's literally just telling you, hey, well, if you get a left end in here, you need one. Basically. Right end, you need one. But these guys that they're showing are going to be like the top 5, top 10 players that I'm not really willing to trade up to get anyways. Like, yeah, look at my team. In all reality, they're saying the draftable players are better than the guys that I already have. So at here, or at this point, because at here is not in the English vocabulary, but at this point, I'm just going to continue to simulate and dismiss everything so we can hurry up and get to the draft. So you see here, we added 3 players, lost 13 players. We have $3 million in cap, and we have 42 total players. So that's another thing we're going to have to watch as we go through. And we are at the draft. Letting Adam Schefter yipper yapper and run his mouth. But we're at the draft. And also I'm thinking about trying to make this as smooth as possible as well. I think this is going to be one of the longest parts of the whole video actually because we're Gonna simulate, but discreetly. So as we start the draft, there's a thing in this game where you can pick the pick, and it should raise your approval rating, but I don't have time for all that. So I know Matt Ryan's going number 1 if the Dolphins had a chance to redo. So he goes number 1. And then these other guys, I mean, they all fall in line. I think Vernon Golston was the egregious pick. Looking back, for him to even move up to number 3 is egregious. I'm not trying to move up, so as you can see here, they're trying to get rid of the 6th pick, I think it was, the 8th pick, and the 10th pick, and I want nothing to do with it. I really don't give a crap. Darren McFadden goes to the Cowboys, though. They're trying to get rid of the 11th pick, and I'm just simulating. Means nothing to me. They're trying to get rid of the 14th pick, and I'm just enjoying my life right now. I really do not care what these people are doing in front of me so much. And I have the 21st pick. They want me to draft Leotis McKelvin. Revisionist history, I do not even know why he dropped so far, because he was actually a good player. He wasn't the greatest player, but he was good enough as a returner as well. So I'm going to draft him. That's a no-brainer to fall down to 21. And then now I'm actually looking to get back in to the draft at this point. And so you see right there, Tennessee goofed and didn't get Chris Johnson. So I'm going to try to trade back in to the first round. And my leverage is I don't care about none of the 2009 draft picks because I'm not going to be here. So as you see here, I'll give you my 3rd, 5th, and 1st round pick from next year because I don't care. They want me to draft Tracy Porter. He was a star in that Super Bowl for the Saints, but I don't want another corner. I just got one. So what I'm going to do is, first things first, just seeing if anybody would like to trade for my picks. And, I mean, they're trying to trade me down, basically, and then give me, like, a random late-round pick to go with it. But I'm just being a good businessman. I'm really not going to take your offer because I did not move up to give it away, especially since I had to give up stuff. So I'm going to go select a player, and I mean, it's obvious. I'm going for Chris Johnson. He should have got picked at 24. They think he's a bust, so that's why they're saying that my goals failed. I don't care. I know who I just drafted. Revisionist history. And so I got 2 first-round picks, and I thought about trading back up again because I'm giving you my whole 2009 class, and that holds weight. That's really what it is, but it's all good. So, draft recap. For the first day in the draft, we got McKelvin and Johnson, and we got them both around the same time, 21 and 25. So now we're going to simulate until our next pick like we've been able to do. There's a lot of people that are coming off the board, names that I do know. And I guess that's the cool part, because other than that, I wish I could just sim to my next pick, and there probably is an option to do that like you would do in the newer games. But I mean, it's all cool just watching some of these people, Eddie Royal, Jonathan Stewart, like you're watching some of these people, Jerome Simpson, that you actually know. So I'm going to actually go with the suggestion, which is Kendall Langford, and that's because we need defensive ends. So there's nothing to even question, debate. That's a good pick, getting him in the 2nd round. And that's what, like the 18th or 20th pick of the 2nd round or something like that. So that's late in the 2nd round. And then now as we get closer to the end of the 2nd round, one of the things I'm looking to do is if anybody, like right here, wants to trade out of the pick, I'm looking forward to taking your pick. And the reason why is because there's a few players that are still available, and all I got to do is give you my 2nd and 3rd for next year. Well, I switched it to 2nd, 4th, and 5th. Makes no real difference. But I'm going to go with the suggestion and draft Deshaun Jackson. I know exactly what I was trying to do. Is I knew he was going to be going off the board soon. So now I got me a corner, running back, and a receiver. So if I was into the long term of this team, those 4 picks are solid for any franchise. We always talk about it. The only thing I'm missing is a tackle. So on day 2, I get me 2 more picks again. And right now, kind of like lost. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, basically. But wait, no, that was day 1. My bad. I'm used to like now how they do the bullshit and they split it up. Day 1 is just the first round, and then day 2 is the second, third, or whatever it is, and then day 3 is the fourth, and everything else. So right here, I'm trying to see anyone that wants to trade out of their pick, and I really only want one more player in this draft, because when you start getting to the later rounds, you just guessing at that point, and I don't have time to be wasting capital. And the Chiefs is looking like, I don't know, they want a little bit too much. But somebody here soon is going to have to trade out, and I'm going to get that pick. I'm going to trade up. Is it going to be, yep, here at number 68, the Falcons are looking to trade out of the pick. Hopefully I can convince them. These people want too much. Like, I think if I give you my 3rd round pick to move up, and then next year's pick is good. But obviously, I'm not the one that's going to accept the deal or not accept the deal. It looks like right here, the Falcons don't accept the deal. So hopefully whoever I'm looking for here at 69 with the Patriots might be an option. And their blank coach, because you remember back in the days, Chad Masters and whatever the hell they had going on, they didn't want to put Bill Belichick, or he didn't want to be in it. So they accept the offer, 3rd, 6th, and another 3rd. And I'm going to go get a center. And that is one of our needs right now. And he's actually going to be useful to us if he does play. I mean, you never know. But yeah, like I said, I'm going after players we need. The running back and the receiver thing was more of like a draft for the future. And that's it for me. I'm not going to get anybody else. My 4, no, I got like 5 or 6 players. What am I talking about? 4. So I got a few players. It was just all early. So I got those 3, 4, and then 5, yeah. And the last pick I got was 69th. And look at the value. Look at the numbers. The worst player I got was a 78 in the draft. And all you ever do in the draft is hope and pray and just wish that guys are going to be good. And I don't have time for that. I want a 1-year rebuild. I want to see how far we can get. There was a season goal for me to get an 85 overall end or something that I just failed, and I really don't care. We're at that point where the draft is just finished. So now we're looking to get us some players that can help us. These players are all guys that just missed out on being drafted. So you see us with Orlando Scandrick being our top priority as an undrafted free agent. And then when you get to receivers, because remember, I'm looking for players I know. So Pierre Garçon and Devon Bess. Those are my priority free agents so far. Jermichael Finley is a tight end that I know. Obviously played with Terry David at Oklahoma. And then now we're looking to see if we can get ends. So Harrington is the top-rated end. Jackson is right behind him. And we're trying to get guys that, as we look through the defensive tackle position, fit our needs. So we got a few. We can only get 5. And it's saying 4 of the 5 target slots are filled. There's not many other corners that we need. Obviously, you see their overall is not high. They're not going to really make or break our team. But if we could get them for cheap, like Scandrick, we're in the lead. Harrington, we're in the lead. Jackson, Denver's in the lead. Pierre Garçon, we're in the lead. Jermichael Finley, Jacksonville wants him more than we do, it looks like. But I kind of want to stay here, Jackson, again, because it's gonna be a bidding war. Now they're up to $350,000, and you see the minimum is $290. So Garcon and Best are locks to stay with us. Skandrick here at the end, somebody's trying to get him. So you got to be active. Wow, someone's trying to get Jackson, and I didn't even realize it, but now I think we just spent a little bit too much time down here. So we got Best, Garcon, and someone got Skandrick because we spent too much time looking at the lower half. And the number on the left is where they're actually ranked. So some of them could have got drafted, but I don't know, whatever the case was, we end up with Harrington. So now we need Jackson because Harrington plays the same position as Kendall Langford, who we already have on the roster. They're trying to get us for $400,000, bro. So we're going to get Jackson on the right end. And now we need one more player. And honestly, if you just look at the rank, here's some players that we can get, but we don't need these players. So I'm thinking we don't need a quarterback. Well, there is no damn quarterback. What the hell is a 25 overall going to do? We don't need a running back. We kind of did need a fullback, I think, but we don't need any more receivers. And we could go look, but we don't need them. I don't know what we're going to do, honestly. I can't figure it out what there even is to do, to be honest with you as well. I'm just looking, going through. We have the ends. Maybe if we go, we have a 1 overall, bro. Maybe if we go after a defensive tackle. Because Hayden at 59 actually looks like the highest number that I've seen so far still available going through all these positions. Yeah, you see like 53, 58. And we can't get Bierman, even though that's that guy that ended up being like a reality TV show star for name recognition. All 5 of the slots are filled, so we really actually can't even click on anyone else at this point. So I guess our mission is going to be, as we keep looking to see where anyone's ranked or where they're ranked, might be to just sign Hayden and call it a day. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time. We lost out on Skandrick and Finley, but we got everybody else we went for. Skandrick would have been okay just because I know we needed corner help and we drafted a corner, that kind of stuff. But yeah, Hayden, some teams are trying to get after him. And Swan is the absolute highest rated player still available, but we do not need a receiver. We have Jackson, and then we just got Best, and then we just got Garcon. So why the hell would we need another one? So Hayden, last couple seconds left, and he's going to go for $360,000, $370,000. And we have all 5 of our priority free agents. And that's literally how it works. Literally, right after the draft, you get on the phone and make these deals. So now the next thing to do is we got to sign our rookies. Obviously, a lot easier than it sounds. We don't have that much cap room. Remember, we only have $14 million. So at this point, I'm getting rid of Mark Brunell. We do not need his old ass taking up all that money. And as we go through here, we're going to look for another player that's not an 80 or even close to an 80. Like here at left guard, we replaced you already. We already got someone, so we'll take your contract, pay the $400,000. And we needed to do that to be able to have enough money to even pay for the players that we have. So I'm trying to see if there's anyone that people want that we can trade away to get rid of their contract. So Liddell Betts might be a bad move, might need a running back, but the Ravens are willing to give us 2 draft picks for you. So you got to go. And it's all cap moves. I picked a team that had no money to begin with. What the hell are you supposed to do with $14 million in a whole offseason? So now, Leotis McKelvin, got to pay him his money being a first-round pick. And that's what we got to do. He wants $14 million over 5 years, which in this time is cheap. That's not even $3 million a year. That's super cheap. Chris Johnson's going to want a similar deal just because they were drafted, like 4 picks apart. So he's going to want something similar. And you see how the money moves. He's making like 1.4 less because of 4 picks difference. And I'm basically trying to get him for a cheaper signing bonus. And then Kendall Langford, he's a 2nd round pick. So you see the money really changed. Ain't no double figures here. And his signing bonus is like $2 million less than the least that I could have given Chris Johnson. So you hear them say, draft position means something. It really does. So then now, Deshaun Jackson, his contract is up for negotiation. And same thing, 1.5. And I'm literally trying to give them money just because I understand. It's not so much that I owe them money or anything like that. And our last draft pick, like you see, I could give them 0 money signing bonus, but I ain't going to do that to them. Give them $500,000, $250,000, and still give them the contract they actually wanted. So now at this point, we're at the end of it all in terms of the draft and signing, and now we're really just trying to get to training camp. And you see here, there's little things that we got to do in terms of training camp invites. So these are players that got invited on their own. Well, obviously I drafted these kids that you're seeing first right here. I drafted them. But as we scroll down, you're going to see kids that just got invited, which is fine with me, mixed in with the guys that we prioritized after the draft. So I don't know. Their overall looks ridiculous. How you have someone that's an 86 from Simon Fraser, I don't know. 92, like from Harvard. I mean, bro, I don't know. It's just whatever they say is gonna be. And there it goes, the end to another video following Coach Ty David on his journey from coaching high school, college, and now the NFL. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon.